So the Amanda Seales interview, right?
Your mom is white.
My mother is not white.
She married a white man.
No, she did not.
As someone who watches the Club Shay podcast and generally appreciates it, this interview brought up very glaring issues with the platform. Because whenever Amanda hit us with one of these, I felt it deep. She like, are y'all seeing this?
And even though you're going to probably have an issue with this, they were racist. So when I was at Disney,
Yes.
and I was in the situation at Disney, I was there as the only black girl. I was called an N-word right there while I was there. And I was also bullied while I was there because I was told that you're only here because you're black. You can't really dance. You're just here because you're black, so don't get any ideas. Does that suffice as racist to you, or would you want to call it something else? Is that just kids being mean?
The kids. So let me ask you a question. As a child, you never said anything derogatory?
The Amanda Seales interview showed us, reminded us that there's a difference between being black in a space and that space actually being a space that is affirming to black people.
So at this point, I understand that we can't just look at black people and say, is this skinfolk or kinfolk? We got to look at black spaces. Is this skinfolk or kinfolk? And all of these black media spaces that took her back in, all of these black media spaces that have just excoriated me for weeks, I look at them and say, you are simply black by name because you are white by commerce.
Wow.
Because Amanda Seales, a trained scholar of black history at the master's level, has a black politic, like a capital B black politic. And she's coming to this space for an interview with a man who has in the past been vocal about racism, only to be gaslit about her experience with racism. And quiet as it's kept, in my opinion, I think it's because Shannon Sharpe had Amanda Seales pegged as some sort of problem child who never learned how to be quiet. And we see this in some of the questions that he asks.
There were a lot of parent-teacher conferences with you, huh?
Yes, but not for what what do you think they were about?
Your excessive talking.
And I also think this is tied to this whole narrative of rules that kept getting brought up by Shannon Sharpe. Like, he brought it up several times. He'll say stuff like, you gotta play the rules in order to win the game.
Amanda, we had the conversation up earlier, and what did we say? If you understand the rules.
And the rules he's talking about are the social norms in America and in American systems. For example, the rule that black people can't expect too much or be too demanding. The rule that black women should be humble and less outspoken. The rule that black people can't be too full of themselves or sure of themselves or they won't get what they know they deserve. The rule that children shouldn't be allowed to correct wrong information in the classroom simply because they are children, even if they're right. This is a constant theme in the interview, and it got brought up so much that it was used in situations that it didn't even apply to.
Yes. You can be good at any game
Yes.
if you understand the rules.
There you go.
From an hour ago. And
Don't talk to me like that.
dab it up.
No.
Can I call you my sister?
Time out.
When the rules of the game in a society are fueled by racism, sexism, anti-blackness, and the like, we can acknowledge those rules, but we have to talk about why they're harmful and what can be done to change them, not try to defend them or give credibility to those rules. And he's talked about the rules of the game in other interviews too, like this one with Cam Newton.
You got to know who you are, bro.
You do, Cam, but I think the thing is that we are not going to get allowed to start at the top. You start in the mail room, and then you're going to start carrying the mail. And then you're going to work your way up before you get to the penthouse. You're not going to the penthouse. You have to understand that. See, you can be good at any game if you understand the rules and how to play the game.
I understand that, and I'm exposing that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
I do.
understand what the rules are.
Yes.
I'm just here to expose it.
I appreciate Cam Newton in this moment for being like, hey, I know what the rules are. I'm just here to expose why it's harmful and why it needs to be changed. And that's what Amanda Seales did this whole interview. It's what she does with her platform. She challenges things in society that far too many people have accepted as normal. It is not our job, especially those with platforms, to keep up the status quo. Because something being normal in a society does not make it okay. And when it comes to Amanda, y'all, I really need us to not repeat history. It's so important for us to realize the gravity of what Amanda is doing during one of the most crucial moments in modern American history. And why she came under attack by black media on all levels the moment she started to become more vocal about the Palestinian struggle for liberation and other genocides around the world.
It had to have hurt to have these black publications.
I had a nervous breakdown. I ain't met none of these people. I ain't done none of these people. I like to think that they were paid by AIPAC, because if you didn't get a check for this and you just did this just to do it, I'm just like, damn.
I don't want her to be yet another person that we celebrate after she's gone for her work and witness. See it now. Recognize it now. Because those of us who understand this moment in history know that history will be her vindication. Because she is on the right side of it. I just hope we can be too. Love and liberation to you all. And as always, like and follow for more content.
It's like understanding the rules and like, you know, then you are who you are. Like that ends up being in conflict with each other so often. It's just me really just trying to mask to become palatable to you.
But don't you think realistically, There are a lot more people that dress in Halloween costumes year-round as opposed to just on that day.
I do not want to be those people, and those are not the people that change the world. And that's what I'm here to do.